What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get a one-play touchdown against literally any coverage in Madden 19. This will obviously help you score a lot more points. Now, make sure to stick around towards the end of the video. I'm going to show an alternate setup for the play, which is going to be very important, and I'll get to that later in the video. But the thing with this one-play touchdown is this is a different type of one-play touchdown, and it is very important in my opinion because most one-play touchdowns in the game, pretty much all of them, require like 60 to 70 yards to pull off, which is fine. I mean, you can strike from deep away, that's good, but sometimes you get the ball, maybe you have a good kick return and you get the ball past midfield, or you get a turnover and you get the ball in your opponent's 30-40 yard line, and then the one-play touchdown that you have maybe in your back pocket, it's not usable in that situation. But the other problem is, yes, you're closer, you have good field position, but the biggest problem in Madden on offense is once you get inside that 15 to 10 yard line, it is very hard to score in this game. It's extremely hard to score in the red zone in Madden. So for a lot of people, they like plays where they can strike from a distance because that's the easier way to score in this game. So that's what this play is going to do for you. It is out of the gun bunch tight end. The play is the inside switch. Now, I'm in the Dolphins playbook right now. I believe this is also in the Seahawks playbook and the run heavy playbook. Those are the three playbooks that have the gun bunch tight end formation. Now, like I said, the reason this is good is because like right here on the field we can strike. Once you get around, I would say the 35 to the 25, you can strike with this play. Now, it is better if you run it to the wide side of the field, so you notice we're on the left hash, so we have the bunch on the left hash as well, because the post route to Antonio Brown is what we're trying to hit, and that's running to the wide side of the field. If we were on the other hash mark, we would simply flip the play. This also works fine like in the middle of the hash as well, in the middle of the field, but it is just, of course, a little bit better if you have that little extra room to work with. So, the first setup for this play is extremely simple. Like the first time you pull it out, people aren't usually going to expect it. All you do is put the tight end on fade, and you can literally bomb every coverage and strike from right here for a touchdown to the X receiver. Now, the first thing I want to talk about right before we get into that is the RB route, because let's say they're blitzing you heavy. You dump this off quick to the RB route. That's why I like leaving this on the field. And if they don't play underneath coverage and you just like the read and you want to hit that, you can hit that every time. This will literally beat every zone and pretty much man defense as well. As long as they're not shading their coverage down, I mean, this thing gets wide open. But that's not the overall point of the play, but it's good to have that there in case they send a super heavy blitz at you. Obviously, you're going to need to dump it down. Now, if you do want extra blocking, you can motion in this B receiver right here like a step and then snap the ball. He'll give you extra blocking if you so need it. But what we're looking at today, like I said, is the X receiver, Antonio Brown. And of course, we get stopped at the 2-yard line because why wouldn't we? Every time you turn on a video to record, that always seems to happen. But that's still good. Getting down to the 2-yard line is still great. But we want the touchdown, and that's what we're going to get here. Antonio Brown. This is a cover 4 we're going against right now. We're going to go through all of the coverages just to show you that this is a cover 4. It doesn't matter if they shade down, shade up, leave the purple zones. It's going to work no matter what. So yeah, you see, we just kind of wait for it to cross over that side of the field. We bullet it. We hit the rat catch, touchdown. Well, your worst case scenario is, yes, like the first time we ran the play, you might get stopped at the 1 or the 2, which isn't really bad because once you get to that part of the field, you're basically just muscle on muscle. You can, run QB sneaks or hit a toss and usually score. The worst part is just inside that 10, really, or 15. So that's cover 4. Now we'll look at cover 3. Same thing. All you gotta do is just streak the tight end. If you want extra blocking, just motion snap this guy in and just snap the ball. If you have time to roll out, I would do that just because it does buy you a little bit of extra time. You don't have to roll out. Usually you can sit in the pocket because this post route, it's a short post. It develops really quickly. But if you see that opportunity to roll out, I would just recommend doing it because it just simply buys you at least another second, which is really huge with plays like this. So again, here, I see the ability to roll out. I'm going to do that. And then boom, again, we're just striking. This is cover 3. You can strike from this area of the field every single time. Like I said, stay tuned for a little bit. We're going to go through a second setup because obviously I'm going to tell you why you need that in a minute. Now here we'll go cover 2. Same thing. Streak tight end. If you want extra blocking, motion this guy in. You're good money. Just let it develop. It takes the longest to develop against cover 2. That time Ben overthrew it, but you could see he was right there at the goal line for a touchdown. We will run it again just to show you that, this is thorough. We're not yanking your chain here. This will work against literally every coverage. Like I said, against cover 2, it does take the longest to develop because you kind of have to clear that last hook zone. But you see, easy money, easy touchdown. let's even look at man defense, because a lot of one-play touchdowns don't work against man. This will, because that route is going to literally toast his man defender. I mean, he's going to eat it up. Again, let's just show this real quickly. Now, that was just a bad animation on the catch, but you see that even against man, you can still hit this running back because he's always going to have outside leverage. But he had a bad animation for some reason. I don't understand why. Like, it's like kind of slowing him down for some reason, which is super annoying. And he keeps hitting that guy out there, and it's kind of slowing him down. But just want to like show you that quickly. Like, even in it, like if they run a man blitz on you, you can still dump that down and get 4 yards. Like, you don't have to be scared of it, basically, is what I'm just trying to say. Because some people against man would say, oh, I can't throw that, I'm just gonna get sacked. No, you can still hit that. You see how open he is. Now look how man gets roasted with this route. And okay, right there we got to the 2. That's fine. We'll run it again though. Because, I mean, like I said, every once in a while, yes, you're going to get stopped at the 2. Every once in a while, the deep zone will react good. He will jump down and make the play. We're getting screamed at here, but it's fine. Antonio Brown to the outside, and he's in for a touchdown. He's going to torch man every time. Jimmy Smith is the cornerback that's on him, by the way. That's a good cornerback. So we see all that. I want to back out real quick because I want to actually show this against cover 6, because I know some people are saying, well, I bet cover 6 will stop it. No, this will work against a cover 6 too, because you have to realize a cover 6 is basically, all it is a cover 4 on one side of the field and a cover 2 on the other side of the field. Usually cover 6s will stop one-play touchdowns, but that's because most one-play touchdowns go over the deep middle of the field, and a cover 6 will help stop that. But this is going to the outside of the field, so a cover 6 still will not stop this. Again, same setup, just fade the tight end. If you want extra blocking, you motion this guy in and snap. Easy money. So you can see cover 6, boom, that's a touchdown. Or, yep, okay, we crossed the goal line. That was close. Still good. As long as we're getting down to the goal line, we're good money. So even if we flip the cover 6, flip it to this side, now it's the cover 4 side. It's going to be the same thing. Again, you can dump it down to the running back if you need to. But again, look, every coverage. I think we got the goal line there. Every coverage. Now, we're going to go back into the other coverages because I want to show you the second setup, because the thing you're looking at that and you know, smart people are thinking, okay, well, you know, what if they user it, right? Because once you pull that out once or twice, now, you know, if you're playing someone that's not that advanced at the game, which a lot of people online aren't, you pull that out, you know, they'll keep giving it to you because they're not good at using, right? But, you know, an above average player will use that route. Now, when that happens, like I said, if you see somebody using them, your first thing is, okay, you dump it down to the running back. The running back is huge yardage, okay? You know, you take what you get. But what smart people are thinking is, well, what if they shade underneath, right? They shade underneath, and then they use the post. Well, then literally nothing on this play is going to be open because the defense is clamping down. Look, we can't throw the running back here. We literally, that was a huge block shed. But we can't throw anything short if they shade underneath. That's where the second setup comes into play. Now, the second setup, what I do is, it's a little bit more advanced. I put, again, A on a fade. Then I take the Y receiver. I put him on a fade, or you could just streak him, whichever you want to do. And then I put the B receiver on an out route, and I motion him over. Now, why I do this is because once I maybe hit somebody once or twice with this, and they get smart and they start shading underneath and using that post route, this gives me a check down that I don't have on the other setup. So let's show an example here. We're going to have cover 4. We're going to shade it down. So that should take away the short stuff, but it won't take away the in route here with this setup, which I'm going to show you. So when it gets about right here, you can throw this. You can go up the field. You can see we got about 7 to 8 yards with that. You catch it, you spin up the field. The reason for this is because with this setup, even though we're shading underneath, we have the tight end running deep, and we have this receiver over here running deep. So what that does is, even though we're shading underneath, like you see this zone right here, he has to drop back to respect it. Number 48, is this number 48? Yes, he has to drop back to respect this at least for a minute, and then he comes forward. Once this guy's coming underneath, then he comes forward, but that has allowed us enough time. You see right here, we're catching the ball 4 yards deep. So even if we get stopped right there, 4 yards on a check down is perfectly fine. That's golden, because that means every 3 plays, you're going to still get a first down. You're going to move the chains. 4 times 3 is 12 yards. We're moving the chains. But we catch it, we spin up field, and now we got about 8 yards on it. So that's really good. We can't get that with the first setup. Now let's go cover 3, show the same thing, shade down. Now with this setup, you can also, if you want to, you can block the running back for extra protection, because if we're expecting them to shade down, then the running back's not going to help us anyway. So that's up to you if you want to do that alternate, you know, hot route there. Here again, this is cover 3, shaded underneath, catch it, spin up the field, got 8 to 9 yards. The beauty of this is that now they can't take away both routes. Cover 2, I mean, most people aren't going to shade a cover 2 underneath because that's just really bad. But, you know, even if they did, again, streak Y, or you could fade him. I think it's better to fade him, honestly. Fade Y, fade A, put B on an out route, and then motion him. You can block the running back for extra protection, and you're going to get the same thing here. They have to respect that route. Okay, look, we got 7 to 8 yards. Even shading underneath won't stop it, but the post is still going to be open every time too. So if they decide, hey, I'm going to use the in route this time, then you still have the post for the one-play touchdown. So this setup is pretty much like dummy proof. You just have to make the right read. You have to make the right read, and that's it. But if you make the right read on this, you're literally gonna either score touchdowns every time from this area, or you're going to just check it down, get your safe, you know, anything from 4 to 8 yards, and keep it moving. And then obviously if you want to mix other plays in out of this formation as well, then that's when you make it a headache. This is a piece of the puzzle. If you actually run the ball out of this formation, it has an inside zone. You run, you know, the PA boot over, which is, you know, always been one of the best plays in Madden. Very hard, you know, good crossing routes, hard to stop. You start mixing in other plays with this, you know, run a play action, put your tight end on a drag, you know, just mixing it up. You know, hitting this side of the field, that's when you become dangerous on offense, because now your opponent has no clue what's coming. They don't know what to defend, but they know, hey, I have to look out for a one-play touchdown every time. But then I got to worry about, oh, he might run the ball, he might do a play action. So I'm giving you a piece of the puzzle. Definitely experiment with this formation. It's been one of the best formations in the game for a while, but I thought it was important to show you guys how you can strike for a one-play touchdown around this area of the field, because once you start getting a little bit closer, that's when it gets tough to score. So you want to kind of, as much as you can, prevent yourself from having to score in the red zone in this game. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.